going to talk about foods that are high in fat, sugar and salt. So as we know, these foods are not required for a well-balanced, nutritious diet. So the important message here is to look at the quantity in which we're eating these foods and to look at how often we're eating these foods. So to begin with, we'll chat about sugars, jams, marmalades and honey. The important message here is that when they're added to nutritious food, such as porridge, Weetabix and whole grain bread, they can form part of a well-balanced diet. So the general guidance would be to limit it to no more than a teaspoon of jam, sugar, honey or marmalade in the day. So other foods that are high in sugar would be cakes, biscuits and confectionery. And when it comes to these foods, it's recommended that we limit ourselves to no more than a 100-calorie treat in the day and to have some days in the week in which we don't eat these foods. So, for example, a 100-calorie treat would be 2 plain biscuits, such as the ones I'm holding. Or it would be a chocolate-covered biscuit. 1 chocolate-covered biscuit would be a 100-calorie treat. Or else a fun-size bar would be a 100-calorie treat. Or 1 scoop of ice cream. Or a small bag of lower fat crisps, or a half a tin of fizzy drink. But the key message here is not too much and not too often. So now we're going to chat about alcohol. So a standard drink of alcohol would be 1 glass of beer or lager, or else 100 ml of wine, which is a small glass of wine, or else a pub measure of spirits. To remember that a standard drink is approximately 100 to 150 calories. And to remember that when we do go out to a restaurant, for example for dinner, we generally don't have 100 ml of wine. Our glass of wine can be between 200 to 250 ml. So to remember that having an alcoholic drink such as a glass of wine, a pint of beer, a pub measure of spirits can have the same amount of calories as having a dessert. So now looking at foods that are high in salt. As we know, excess salt, too much salt, is not good for our heart health or our overall health. And in Ireland, we consume more than the recommended amount of daily salt. It is recommended that we have no more than a level teaspoon of salt per day. But that we know in Ireland that 80% of our salt comes from processed foods, such as tinned food, packets of sauces, packets of soups, processed meats like ham, salami, and it's also found in our treat foods such as crisps and nuts, and therefore it's important that we watch the salt value in these foods. The lower our salt intake, the lower our blood pressure, and overall the better for our overall health.